Okay, guys, we are live. This is Dave's LFC Chats. Hit the like, hit the share. You know what to do, guys. Join us on this Anfield Express. I've got a very special guest live from Bangkok. Zubin Official on Twitter. He's in the house. He is excited. He is happy. He's probably tired. Zubin, welcome to the show.
Hi, Dave. Thank you so much. I am glad to be a part of your channel right here from Bangkok.
Wow, live in Bangkok in his hotel room. Looking forward to the big game on Tuesday, of course, which is Liverpool, Manchester United. Liverpool only arrived in the last few hours. Zubin arrived yesterday, but we've seen the crazy scenes. We've seen it on Twitter. LFC TV are doing a thing on it as well. It looks crazy over there, Zubin. It looks mad.
Oh, it's insane. To be very honest, the number of fans that I've seen on the streets wearing jerseys, the number of I visited the LFC store a little while ago as well, and my God, that was full of fans as well. Then as we were chatting a little earlier, there were about 400, 500 odd fans easily at the airport welcoming the squad, and at the team hotel, outside the hotel, there must have been another 200 or 300 odd fans just singing and chanting and waiting for the club and the players to arrive. The first time in the Asian continent since I think 2015, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
And the first time that United and Liverpool are playing outside Europe on the Asian continent. So it's crazy.
It is crazy. Yeah. Well, do you know what the ground, the Thailand National Stadium, is it 50, 60,000 or is it more? The capacity. I think it's a big stadium. He's freezing. He's freezing live from Bangkok. His Wi-Fi is going down. Let's hope we can get him back in now in a minute. Hold on. I knew something like this would happen because, of course, he's in Bangkok. I'm in Dublin. Let's see if we can get Zubin back in. Zubin, I think I'll take you off to bring you back in. But we shall chat for a minute until Zubin comes back. Guys, looking forward to it. It is Liverpool United on Tuesday in Bangkok. They fly to Singapore then and play Palace on Friday. Back to Austria, back to Germany, back to England. It's all go. It's all Liverpool. And I cannot wait. But Zubin has just frozen. I wouldn't say it's cold in Bangkok, but he's just frozen at the moment. But let's hope we can get him back in to have a chat. I'm sure he will come back in. The Wi-Fi, I'm expecting it. Thailand, a good bit away. It's raining, he's saying, over in Thailand at the moment. It's very humid over there. It is always humid over there. But we shall see. Liverpool United, of course, a week ahead of us in training. So they'll be a lot more up to scratch than we will be on Tuesday. But sure, it's a friendly, but there is no friendlies, as Klopp said, between Liverpool and Manchester United. There is no friendlies. But let's see if we can get Zubin back in now in a minute. But he can just click back onto his link, unless he's sending me a message on my phone here. But just like to get his take basically on the scenes around Bangkok and the fans. You've seen him on Twitter. You've seen him on LFC TV. It just looks absolutely crazy over there. The fans are mad. They're passionate. They're all in. They're shouting. They're screaming. Klopp walks by. Salah, who only arrived with the team on a separate flight today. I mean, we've Nunez on the flight as well, and it's going to be interesting to see what type of team he picks on Tuesday. I don't think he'll pick the real strong team, to be fair, because most of them are only back in pre-season. Some of them are only came back in on Friday, the pre-season, and then a big long flight like that. 48 hours later, you're playing a match against United. I don't know. I think it'd be a mix of a team on Tuesday. Let's see if we can get Zubin back in. But if we can't, we can't. But we'll try get him because he is live in Bangkok in the hotel. He just arrived yesterday. And he's seen the players coming into the hotel. It just looks absolutely crazy, guys. Hit the like, hit the share, as I always say. Helen is in here. I get confused with all these and these time differences all over the world. Who's Zubin back now? We'll get him back in. He's back. Zubin is back.
Sorry, guys.
No
technical
problem.
Glitch.
Yeah. Listen, we're gonna get glitches. It's you're in Bangkok. I'm in Dublin. It happens. Don't worry about it. We just continue. But as I was saying, Zubin, I mean, the fan base in Asia, I mean, you're from India. The fan base in that area is just ridiculous for Liverpool and United, to be fair.
So that's one thing I was really confident about, that the number of fans would show up. But when I actually got there and I saw it's immense. And I know that we're massive. And today, when people say we're massive, I can actually believe it, because now for the first time, I've actually witnessed it, experienced it, seen it for myself, and I think it's out of the world to be able to see all of them chanting. And my God, if there's one person who's loved and he doesn't know it, it's Jurgen Klopp. The number of times that the fans really wanted to see him when he stepped out of the bus and when he stepped out of the airport, oh my God, it
Yeah.
was crazy.
So Jurgen.
Yeah,
I
thankfully
mean,
he's a red.
I seen a funny one today. I think it was Elliot, and you were calling him Diaz. He's the same type of haircut, but he had a mask on.
So if you actually
Takes
go
the
to see
mask off, goes
Firmino,
like that. I'm not Diaz. I'm Elliot. You know what I mean?
so Firmino's got highlights, Diaz got highlights, Salah's got highlights. I think nobody's ready for Liverpool with the highlights this season.
I'm hoping to get plenty of good highlights on Tuesday after the match.
Oh yeah, yes, for sure.
Yeah, but look, we're looking forward to it. To be honest, Zubin, we're looking forward to the bloody start of the football again, and it's just great. We had an unbelievable season last year with 63 games. I mean, the boys looked tired, to be fair. I think they looked tired in the Champions League last 20 when we were trying to go to get that equaliser. I was in Liverpool for it. I wasn't in Paris, so I actually went to Liverpool, but it was probably the second best place to be if you weren't in Paris, to be fair. But I mean, we've had a ridiculous season. I'm looking forward to the season. I'm sure you are as well as a Liverpool fan. But check Zubin out on Twitter, guys, at Zubin Official. He is in Bangkok. He is at the coalface. He's watching the Reds. He'll be at the match, of course, on Tuesday against Manchester United. But just are you happy with the squad, Zubin? Are you happy with the three boys in and the three boys out?
So Sadio Mane is going to be a miss. He's not only going to be a miss on the pitch, but off the pitch as well. I think there's so much humility that he has that would have, other players can probably learn from as well in general in football, not in Liverpool, but in general, so he's going to be a big miss. But to be very fair, Darwin Núñez, oh my God, am I waiting to see him on the pitch? It's going to be amazing. I think if he hits the ground running, I can easily see him scoring a ton of goals for us. Calvin coming in. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get to see him on preseason because he's not traveled with the squad.
I think he had a slight niggle.
He had a slight niggle, which they found out during the medicals. So I think he's going to take some more time to get fully match fit. Though I honestly do not see how much of a role he has to play yet, because I do believe with Gomez signing a new deal, Trent and Gomez probably will be alternating, and Calvin would probably get some more time. But that's not a bad thing. We've seen what Klopp gets to do with players when he gets enough time with them on training. We saw that he took time with Fabinho. He's taken time with a few others, and they've turned out all right. So that's good for us.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Fabio Carvalho, I'm really looking forward to seeing this guy. I really am.
Doesn't he give you the absolute vibe of Coutinho? I don't know. I feel that a lot of people.
Do you know what he gives me a vibe of, actually? He gives me a vibe of, I'm trying to think now. There was a guy I was thinking of the other day, and he was brilliant, but he never fulfilled his true potential, because when he came in from Holland at the time, I think it was Ajax, when he came in from Holland, not Coutinho, what the hell was his name again? I forget now. Just give me a blank, but I'm looking forward to seeing him, and I think it's gone under the radar because of the Núñez thing, and Salah signing his contract and the madness that surrounded all that. The Carvalho thing is just eased in. I think he was meant to be announced that Friday, but because Salah signed the extension, that just went out the window, and he came out on Sunday morning or something, about 11 o'clock, remember? Yeah. But I'm really looking forward to him. Obviously, Salah signing the deal just gives us all a boost, doesn't it? I mean, wow.
I actually always believed that he would sign. I'm pretty sure a lot of us Liverpool fans never really gave up and did believe that would happen. It did take longer than all of us would have liked. But, just coming back to Fabio, I think Ryan Babel. Yeah.
I just think there's something about him, that pace, the way he comes in, the way he controls the ball and dribbles, similar. I mean, I loved Ryan Babel. I know it didn't really work out in the end. He did score a few lovely goals and stuff, but I'm hoping this guy takes off and obviously plays a lot more than Ryan Babel, but he's that vibe.
He does. So one of the best feelings that I have, and something that I want to really see in preseason, if Klopp does experiment, because we've seen that Klopp doesn't really experiment. He sticks to his 4-3-3. He'll probably switch around players, but he won't switch formations. But I do believe that Núñez and Fabio, they both give us the option to probably stick to a 4-3-3 or shift to a 4-2-3-1. So, keeping that in mind, I think Fabio brings that little bit of uncertainty to our squad, which will probably help us catch Manchester City next season.
Yeah, it's all about options, Zubin. It's all about options.
Yep.
The more options you have, the more, more tools in your toolbox that you have, the better
Correct.
job you can do. That's basically it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and
Yeah,
what I do believe that, as we were speaking a little earlier as well, is the preseason tour is hectic. The previous season was long. Usually players get say 6 to 8 weeks off. This time it's been a little shorter because of the Nations League after the Premier League as well. They had a couple of weeks of national duty. Some of the players are coming off their holiday just probably 48 hours ago.
yeah,
So it really does come down to options, right? It does come down to who can you rest probably for a game that doesn't have a very, very important consequence, and who can you kind of push a little more during, say, you know usually what ends up happening is during the Champions League we end up having a big game on the weekend. So those rotations and options are going to become much more important this season. And let's not forget the World Cup, right? It's a
yeah.
December World Cup. It's never happened before.
That's crazy.
There's going to be a season break.
Crazy.
So yeah,
I'm not a big fan of it. I'm
option.
not a big fan of a Winter World Cup now, to be fair. I really am. You know what I mean? It's
I know,
Santa Claus
and
doing refereeing.
talking about a Winter World Cup, it's going to be crazy. See now, for us, and I've had this thought. It may be a little selfish, but Salah is going to be rested in that month. Unfortunately, he would have loved to play.
Yes.
He would have loved to play, and I would have loved to watch him in the World
Yeah.
Cup.
Yeah.
But then, unfortunately, not all countries can participate in the World Cup, and if Salah gets a rest for those few weeks, my expectations from us in the Premier League and the Champions League probably go up a little bit, to be honest.
Yeah. Plus, also, you've got the 5 sub rule, which will help. I think the big teams, it'll help in the Premier League this season. More options, more ways to change it, different formations in the second half. We've seen Klopp doing it in the Champions League where there was the 5 sub rule. But I think the big 6 or big 8 clubs in England, obviously the bigger squad, more quality you have in the squad, it gives you even a better chance, I think, with 5 subs.
Yes, it does. But if I look at it from a neutral perspective, playing devil's advocate here, it probably does increase the gap between the teams at the top of the table and those below. Because if you look at it from a perspective, teams with money can probably afford options which are very, very luxurious, as compared to teams which are probably not fighting for the top 6. So it could increase the disparity between the teams at the top and those at the bottom. But then, given that the teams at the top are playing, now we can see multiple countries, multiple competitions, then from a Liverpool aspect, I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, no, it is. And listen, you could say the same for City. I mean, they have a big squad. I'm sure Chelsea, even United, would be probably saying 5 subs. That's, I mean, if you've used up all your subs with 10 minutes to go, with the old 3 sub rule, you still have an extra 2 there. You know what I mean? Either to shore it up at the back or to go for it up front. You know what I mean? So I just think it's going to be an exciting season in that way. And you probably won't see that many draws. Although, as I say, you can shore it up. But I think it suits attacking teams even more. You can go for it. You know what I mean?
Yep. I mean, imagine this, right? We're probably 1-1 in the 80th minute against, a team probably 7th or 8th. And then we throw on Nunez, or we throw on a Jota, or we throw on a Carvalho, or we throw on a Firmino. I mean, it's insane. That's with Salah already on the pitch. So it's quite crazy.
And here's another man who can play between the lines, and no one's really mentioning him. Harvey Elliott. I mean, I've seen 1 or 2 things of him in training. He looks hungry. He looks back. He gives us so many options too. You know what I mean?
True. If you actually remember the beginning of last season, Harvey Elliott started the first 3 games before that horrific injury.
Yeah, and he looked on fire.
And he looked great. And I don't believe any different from this season. I expect him to probably be right there. We did not see him too much towards the end of the season when he was fully fit. But that, I believe, would be because Klopp wanted to have him as of an unknown quantity as possible, and probably unleash him this season. And he and Fabio have played together. Yeah, they played together. So that partnership in Liverpool Red, it'll be amazing.
And Salah seems to take him under his wing. They seem to get on with each other. Young Harvey and Mosalah, the king of Egypt. This is the thing, right? So we get back to, obviously, you're in Thailand, you're in Bangkok, you're sitting in your hotel. What are your plans for the day? What time is it over there now? What time is it?
So it's 7:15 over here.
7:15, obviously in the afternoon. And what is it? 1:15 here. So there's a 6-hour difference.
Yeah. It's a 6 hour difference. I started my day by going to the Liverpool store at Siam Square. I spent a nice hour or two at the store over there. You know, took a few pictures, took a few videos, bought some merchandise because unfortunately we don't have a Liverpool store back in Mumbai.
Yeah.
So and it's quite an overwhelming experience. I've visited a few Liverpool stores in other countries, but given the fact
I'm
that
sure. I'm
I have
sure
to
they'll
travel,
open one up in India. A few in India at some stage.
oh, that would be crazy. That would be amazing.
I'm sure
You
they
know?
will. I mean, the commercial aspect of Liverpool, the business side of Liverpool, which not a lot of people like talking about, is important. Let's be real. That
Yes, it is.
gets us the funds, gets us the players we want, pays the wages. We can't. We've not done enough in that in the last, say, 15 years since Billy Hogan, since the guys basically since FSG came in. That has all changed. You know what I mean? We were way
Yep.
behind the likes of Manchester United, even the likes of Arsenal, Chelsea, and these type of clubs. But now we're right up there. We're right up there now because we've got the fan base. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The
So
worldwide
Dave,
fan base.
I was speaking to a few people out here, and actually, they're of the opinion that this is going to be one of the most lucrative, pre-seasons for Liverpool and Manchester United, traveling over here because I believe ticket prices are much higher than what they were last time that these clubs have come down, and there's probably a little bit of, dissatisfaction in the local fans because of that. But
Yeah,
then the upside of that is probably it needs to be that lucrative for being able to fly so many high quality top players over here. It's not just the players, right? It's the medical staff, it's their training staff, it's the security,
yeah.
it's a lot more from than
Entourage.
just. Yeah, it's the entire entourage, and the entourage is a 6 bus entourage in total. So
Six.
it's crazy.
Yeah,
There were two Liverpool buses, which were the Liverpool Red. There were two buses which kind of had the support staff, and there were a couple of shuttles also, and then their equipment. I mean, it's crazy. It was a big convoy.
yeah. No, but look, it's like a president or something coming in. Klopp's like the
Bigger.
president coming in. Yeah, bigger. But I seen them walking into the hotel. You don't know what hotel they're staying in, do you?
Yeah, so they're put up here at the St. Regis Hotel in Bangkok.
Nice 5
So
star.
oh, beyond, yeah, yeah.
7 star, 6 star, like a European Cup, 6 star, baby.
I don't know if we'd be able to get into the hotel, probably catch a drink with a player or two, but I doubt that's going to be possible.
Want to get Pat? Use Dave's LFC chats. Hi, I know Dave. But look, I tell you, enjoy it over there. As you say, it's raining at the moment. It does get humid. It does get warm and stuff like that. I suppose there's a mixture of weathers over there, but let's hope the weather's okay for Tuesday when you play United. But as you say, I think it'll be a mix of players on Tuesday. I don't think you go full strength because, as we just said, Mosalah only arrived this morning with his jeans on. He flew in from his holidays. The likes of Nunez, Thiago, Hendo, I think they only got back with the team in Kirby on Friday. Most of them are still on holidays. Fabinho.
Yep, some of them joined in on Thursday evening, Friday. Some of them started out on Monday. But whatever. It's just been 5 days at maximum, and I don't think that, and that includes, I think, a 12-hour travel, jet lag, time difference. It's going to be crazy for them to be able to kind of put out the strongest 11. But from a fan's perspective, this is still a Liverpool United game. Okay, it might not be the Premier League, it might not be the Champions League, but bragging rights are still going to be up there
even
for
though it's a friendly in Thailand and they've probably had a week at least more training and settled down than us, but you still don't want to lose against them, to be fair. I don't want to, even Tiddlywinks I don't want to lose,
Definitely not.
What's your thoughts on Jude Bellingham? I see North Red putting something in here about Bellingham. Do you think we'll get him next summer?
So there are lots of rumors online. I've tried to speak to a few people as well. Some say that probably this season, some say next season. I would love to. I feel that a midfielder is that missing piece in the entire Klopp jigsaw puzzle right now. But I do believe that there is some chatter going out, but nothing for certain yet.
Yeah, I think Liverpool are doing it in stages. Our defense is pretty much settled now. Look, the Konate's just moved on a level. Young Ramsey will fill in eventually for Trent. We've Tsimikas, who's just been brilliant for us as understudy for Robbo. And we've got Matip like Ronaldinho. I mean, Matip's like Messi. I don't know if you've seen that goal in training, And you've got Van Dijk. I won't even have to mention that more about Van Dijk. We know who Van Dijk is. But we've got that Gomez there signing a long-term contract. Up front, we've got the famous five. It's like Ina Blyton book. You know, we've got a famous five up there, and we've so many little connotations in midfield. But I think Operation Midfield takes off in the next 2 windows. I think he's gonna do something with that midfield because it's not getting any younger. So I think all our eyes will go on midfield because we pretty much tied down the front and the backs.
True. I also do believe, see, our midfield, by absolutely no standard, is it not top quality.
Oh, yeah.
You throw in a Hendo, Fabinho, Thiago. I mean, it's brilliant. Keita
Naby.
when fit. Yeah, Keita when fit is really good.
Even Curtis Jones coming up in here.
I'm a fan of Curtis Jones. That's what I was going to say next. I'm a fan of Curtis Jones.
Yeah.
I do believe that he does require some polishing, but I think because he's already played 50, 60 odd games, people forget how young he is. So probably him there. And we've seen that Klopp's moved Harvey off the wing and he plays him more centrally. So I believe Harvey Elliott probably will continue in that role as well. So I do believe, yes, it is concerning if we do get injuries, but if our players stay uninjured throughout and they stay fit, then I don't think it's too much of a worry just about yet. And then we have the legendary James Milner who can play wherever he wants when he's blindfolded. So that's no problem either.
I don't know whether you've seen Klopp talking about the new Pep Linders book, which is out in August, called Intensity. It's basically an ode to James Milner because this guy is Benjamin Button on steroids. Yeah. I mean, the lactate test they do, I think he's won the last 3
preseason. I think it's more than that. I think he's won it every time since he's been here. Yeah.
I mean, it's just this guy no wonder they gave him another year. I mean, it's just never mind the footballer playing, which he won't get a huge amount to games. Let's be real. But to bring him on the last 10, 15 to shore something up or just to add a bit of energy and experience in a big, big game, who better to have on the bloody bench than James Benjamin Button Milner?
That's true.
You know what I mean?
And I think he brings a lot off the pitch as well. Experience. I mean, the experience in the dressing room, the fact that he's played every major game that's possibly can at his level. So he brings a lot of calmness in. And I do believe that James Milner is the one who can translate what Klopp wants the players to do. He's the bridge between the players and the manager's thoughts, is how I look at James Milner and his role at Liverpool.
I think he's definitely destined for some sort of a coaching role going forward. I know he has his badges, but I think he's definitely in the next, maybe I think this could be his last year, well, especially with Liverpool, but I think he just will slip into some sort of staff role.
Yeah, I think that would be the smartest thing for him to do. And I think it would be very important for us going forward that the younger players, they have someone known to look at for the next few years in the coaching capacity as well.
Yeah.
Because a player who's played with them is someone who probably understands exactly what is required for them as well.
Zubin and Dave, do you guys see a lot of the big boys getting a rest this season? DVD, Robbo, Trent says. But look, that's what we've just said. I mean, we've a nice, big, tasty squad at the moment. Hopefully, everybody stays fit. I think it's very important to get a good pre-season under your belt, especially the new lads, the likes of Núñez, Carvalho. Obviously, Ramsey's a bit of a niggle at the moment, but I think it's important to get an odd goal or two, even for Núñez, just to get the little thing off your back. You know what I mean? Even if it's a friendly or it's a tap in against Strasbourg or an overhead kick from 40 yards out against United, something like that. Do you know what I mean? I just think it's important just to calm it down. You don't want Núñez or someone playing 3 or 4 games and not score, and then you go into the Premier League game against Fulham, even though it's only pre-season. Nobody, he missed one. It's all about getting the rhythm, I think. That's the most important thing, and no injuries going into the new season.
Yeah, and I do believe that Darwin is going to be a very big goal threat. And what he brings different compared to what our magical front three have is probably the presence of a target man inside, and with Robbo and
number 9, basically number 9,
yeah. So I think, and I would love to be at the stadium when he smashes in his first goal. Yes, it's a friendly.
The winner against United now, that would be good, wouldn't it?
That would be good. I think that gets the pony off the back. That kind of settles the nerves.
The ponytail off his head.
So I think that's a good thing for us.
Yeah, look, I'm looking forward to the season. Zubin, you're looking forward to the season. It basically kicks off right now. You might as well say it. You're in Bangkok. So before we go, we'll have another little chat about Thailand. You're there. It's first time in Thailand, is it?
It's my second time in Thailand. Actually, I've come here vacationing previously as well, but
Yeah,
it's definitely my first time chasing the Reds. First time I've seen them live. It feels crazy to know that I was probably 3 feet away from them. I mean, it's amazing to
yeah,
be able to witness them and probably witness one of our strongest squads ever. And I think it's brilliant the way the fans are from. I mean, the players are coming here from a commercial aspect for the club. It's great. It's an opportunity for fans like me who are far away from England to be able to connect with people and football in general. We put in a lot of hours. We put in sleepless nights as fans from different parts of the world. So it's a brilliant time for us to connect, and it kind of puts in some tangibility into the crazy fan following that many of us actually are.
yeah. No, absolutely, guys. This is live on Twitter as well. It's live on Twitter, live on YouTube. Zubin at Zubin official on Twitter. Check him out. I'm sure he'll have videos. He probably have chats and whatever between now and Tuesday because he is in Bangkok. So check him out at Zubin official on Twitter. There's actually the Annie Road End, the Liverpool Annie Road End. If you're seeing there from North Red, it is coming along, and hopefully by next season, start of next season, we shall have an extra 6,000-7,000 seats at Anfield.
Yeah,
Should be
and
brilliant.
it's going to be crazier and noisier, and it's going to be even more difficult for any team to come there and try and think that they can take 3 points away.
I mean, I seen a stat the other day. I'm sure you know it. Virgil van Dijk has not lost a Premier League game that he started at Anfield. I mean, that is just
He's been here 5 years,
ridiculous. Yeah, he
four,
came in.
four
He
or
came in at
5 years.
Christmas. January
Four and a
2018,
half
wasn't it?
years.
When
Yep.
he came in.
Four and a half years,
Oh,
and he hasn't lost a Premier League game for Liverpool at Anfield. I think
wow.
there's so many useless chats of people and fans I see on Twitter, and I see a lot of other fans from teams trying to believe that he's not one of the best ever. But I think he is the best Premier League defender, the calmest Premier League defender that Liverpool have had and that the Premier League has had in a very long time.
But the good thing for Liverpool and what makes Liverpool so good and so great at the moment is you look at the spine. You always talk about a spine for a football team. You've got
Yes.
Alisson in Wonderland in goal, the best goalkeeper in the world, bar none for me. You've Ali there. I mean, we've great backups in the likes of Keller and Adrian, but you've got Ali there. Then you've got Van Dijk.
Solid.
This is the spine. I mean, Matip's just been ridiculous as well. Matip was ridiculous last year.
So if you
Fabinho
ask me,
in midfield, fabulous Fabinho, and up front, holy shit! You know what I'm saying? Mosalah, the king of Egypt, probably the best player in the last 2-3 years. But you've also got you throw in Nunez, you throw in Diaz, you throw in Bobby Noluk, you throw in Jota's Gota, Dalota. It's dreamland.
it's crazy, and to be able to see all of them, and that's the best part of why did I choose a preseason, right? To
Yeah,
probably, obviously, yes, it's closer to where I live, and it's honestly a little more economical for me to probably fly down to this part of the world and watch them, but it gives me a chance to probably see 5 to 10 minutes of each player getting a chance
yeah.
on the pitch. So I will probably get to watch every player for at least 5 or 10 minutes minimum. In Liverpool Red, taking on our arch rivals at the Rajamangala Stadium on Tuesday, and it's going to be crazy, and I can't wait for it.
Well, I'll tell you, is Liverpool? I presume they'd be probably training tomorrow in that stadium, doing like a pre. Are you going to
So
that, or you need
there is
tickets?
there is a 2 hour training session that each team is going to be putting in at the stadium tomorrow. Manchester United gets, I think, 2 hours before Liverpool does,
Yeah,
and I think that's very important because I believe that they've laid down a new turf at Rajamangala for this particular game as well, and I believe that the quality of the turf is going to be a little different compared to what Liverpool and United are used to playing back home. So it's really important. Other than that, I think there are a couple of other training sessions in a few other pockets of the city. I think there each team has been given a local football team's facilities to kind of continue their training because as you've mentioned previously, right? United have been here already for over 24 hours longer than Liverpool have, so they'll be a little more accustomed to the conditions as well.
yeah.
And I think that is really important for Liverpool in terms of ensuring. I mean, it's gonna suck if somebody gets injured, right? And I really wouldn't want anybody to get injured at all, So I hope that
I don't
that is
think
something.
anybody will be risked, Zubin. I mean, if you're anyway off, they're not going to risk you in a game after just flying in 48 hours ago. It's
True
not going to
that.
happen.
And so that is one of the reasons I don't see Salah and Van Dijk getting a lot of time, because they've just come in. They met up with the squad earlier today in Bangkok itself. So that is something that I will be surprised if either of them get more than 15 minutes on
Yeah,
Tuesday.
yeah,
I do see us getting a young squad in. I do see a lot of kids getting an opportunity to kind of feel the intensity of a derby game. And I think it's a brilliant way for us to kick off our preseason, a brilliant way for, as you mentioned, for us to kick off our season in general. For us fans, the season is beginning on Tuesday.
yeah,
So
yeah,
so
yeah.
so it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, even the content when the boys came back into pre-season and they're kicking the ball around AXA training in Kirby, it really is when you get the feel of it, the juices start flowing and you're ready to rock and roll. Because to be honest, in the last 2 years in particular, with the bloody pandemic and there was no fans involvement, it just didn't seem like football. Okay, we won the league for the first time in 30 years, which was huge, but to have the fans engaged. Klopp said it a million times. It's so obvious. I did an interview with John Ochterberg a few weeks ago, the goalkeeping coach, and he was saying it.
Yeah.
Without fans, football's nothing.
True that. And I think this is the first sign of normalcy after the pandemic is hit. Lots of teams are flying to different parts of the world, connecting with fans from all around. So from that perspective, this is a very important mark for us football fans, and it kind of restores normalcy to the way life was before this unfortunate pandemic hit all of us and affected all of us in different ways.
Yeah, it's like a pre and post COVID era, isn't it? Hopefully we're at
True,
the back. We're not out of it totally. I think it'll probably always be around, but hopefully we're over the worst of it. That's the main bloody thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it is quite important. To be very honest, I did notice a few players, masking up with double masks and all of that. And I think that's very important. There will be a lot of people who probably discuss that and chat about that. But I think it's important. It's very important to stay safe for the players as well. The last thing you want is for an unfortunate event. And, this it sets the player back 7 days, 14 days, whatever the rules are, and kind of affects everything, and puts a kind of a snag into the wheel. So I think, this post-COVID era that you mentioned has begun, and I hope it stays like this, and we are behind those crazy 2
Put it
years.
behind us and move forward into a fantastic era. And as I always say on this channel and to Liverpool fans, whenever I meet them, you've got to enjoy the moment. You've got to enjoy being a Liverpool fan right now. The last few years has been an absolutely roller coaster, as Ronan Keating would call it. Liverpool's roller coaster, just gotta ride it. You know what I mean? So we just gotta ride it and enjoy it. And I am enjoying it. I'm sure you are enjoying it. The likes of Jack McIndoe TV in the house, Jackie boy, he's enjoying it too. And we've just got to enjoy it because it does not happen. It doesn't stay like this forever. It really doesn't. You look at football life, you have your ups, you have your downs. We've had a lot of downs at Liverpool, but we've also had a lot of ups. And when you're up, enjoy it.
Correct. And I think it's official for us to say, and I'm waiting for someone to say this, I think we're back on our fucking perch, aren't we?
Well, we all know what Ferguson said. Yeah, no, look, we're up there. I mean, we could have done the famous quadruple last year. I mean, a bit of luck either way. I think we're a little unlucky in the Champions League final. We did enough to win it. But I think Madrid's name was on it, and you just can't win if your name's on it. We've seen in 2005 with us. If your name's on it, that's it. It's a done deal.
Nothing takes it away. Yeah.
And that's the league, to be up against an Isle state like, Manchester City, to bring them so close, record-breaking amount of points. I mean, if City weren't there, we'd be winning 2 or 3 more leagues. There's no doubt about it.
Easily. I mean, it breaks my heart to see we had a 97-point season and didn't win the league. We scored over 100 goals and we didn't win the league. I mean, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah. I mean, it might never be done again. We might never get 97 points again. I mean, that's ridiculous amount of points. What did we get last year? 92?
92 points and we still didn't win, yeah.
But to be honest, Pep, Klopp, City, Liverpool have both pushed each other. City mightn't have got those points either without Liverpool being there. They could have eased off if they had a 20-point gap, you know what I mean? So both of them have been a catalyst for each other to bring out the brilliance and the record-breaking ridiculousness in both teams over the last 3 or 4 seasons in particular. And Klopp and Pep will probably tell you. Pep seems to talk about Liverpool an awful lot. But I say he appreciates the fact that Liverpool is around the corner and there's no chance. You can't even draw a game anymore. You can't even draw an away game. You have to win the bloody game. It's ridiculous.
Last season's a good example, right? They were 14 points ahead of us, probably, and did not know that we dragged it to the last 15 minutes of the season.
Oh, don't go there.
We were
Oh,
winning the season till the 71st minute, till City scored their first goal. You know,
yeah. Look, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. It's the levels are just. I mean, we only lost 2 league games. Both away from home. West Ham, Leicester. 2 league games. Still didn't win the league. I think City lost 3 games. So it's just look the levels Klopp has brought this team. I'm enjoying the ride. Even last year, okay, we won the League Cup, won the FA Cup, it was lovely. Champions League final, 3 cup finals, bringing the league down to the last game. Ridiculous levels, ridiculous goals. You have to be. If you're not enjoying this as a Liverpool fan, you're either not a Liverpool fan or you just don't enjoy football. Simple.
there are a lot of fans who so I've had this, and I think I was listening to a few Twitter spaces where they're discussing that they said that last season a lot of fans believe that last season was a failure, and I don't understand that.
Who said
We
that?
played a lot of fans do believe them, and I'm like, we've played every game possible that Liverpool could play. We've played 63 games. We've gone to every final. We've won 2 cup finals. We've outplayed the opposition in the Champions League final. And I think it was their experience that took them over the line. And
A bit of look.
yeah,
A bit of look. You need that
yeah,
look. You need a 5%
yeah.
look. That was a cross across the. I don't even know if that was a cross. I think he just hit it.
Yeah, he
Wherever
just
it
hit it.
went.
He hoped in,
You know.
and it just worked out for them.
But
So
you know the other thing as well. I mean, if I'm sitting here now on the 7th, the 10th of July, and someone says to me, "Right, we're going to give you the same season as you had last season,"
I take it.
taking your bloody hand off. Do you know what I
Definitely,
mean? It probably never
definitely.
happened. We probably never get the 3 cup finals. 63 games again. I mean, that was ridiculous.
I agree, and I think, as you said, right. And for me as a fan, and I've mentioned this in a few pieces that I've worked on, football isn't always about the final destination. It's about the journey.
The journey, baby.
Yep. So it's
Don't
not
stop believing. That's the
even.
journey. That's the
You bet.
song. That's what it's
You bet.
about. The journey. And me being going over to Liverpool and stuff like that, meeting lads in pub before a game, after a game, during the game, whatever, doing these shows, pre-match, post-match, interviews. It's all that combined, rolled into one for me. That's what makes Liverpool. Plus, you've got the great fans. I mean, I keep saying, obviously, best fan base in the world, the LFC fan base world. You'll see it on Twitter. I mean, there's a few lunatics on Twitter, but they're everywhere. They're everywhere. I'm sure you get them, even Liverpool fans. But by mostly, biggest percentage-wise, I'd say Liverpool fans are, they usually do know their football as well. And as I say, we've been through hard times. We know what it's like to lose badly or lose or not play well all season, So we appreciate it when we win. But I do see a few fans, as you say, I call them TikTok boys. These boys haven't got a clue about football. They'll be on, giving out about draws or away draws or why didn't he score that? We only won 2-1. We only won 2-1. There's 3 points. That type of shit. Yeah. You'll get that every season. But most of the time I try to ignore them, to be fair.
True that.
The West Ham own goal as well at the end. But look, we can go back over things. Look, if you take a season, which is 63 bloody games, you're going to take 1 or 2 or 3 moments out of all those 63 games and some of the City games and say, if that would have went that way or that would have went that way. But you can also say, if Taki Minamino would have hit that ball wide against Leicester City instead of scoring and going 3-3, we wouldn't have won the bloody League Cup. And it might have been different. That gave us an impetus. That gave us a little, that was an early, February, early cup. Look forward to. Bit of a catalyst. Diaz had just come in as well. So, you can up and down and in and out. I think it levels itself usually over the whole season. You can be unlucky in games, but you can also be lucky, Yeah.
And to be very honest, if you look at this from a non-biased perspective, I think we were 14 points behind City in January. I think all of us would have written the league off by then, and there was no chance that we would have thought that we would take it down all the way to the last match, the last 15 minutes of the season. And I think suddenly everyone forgets that, we kind of pulled 14 points back and we took it all the way to the wire. And it's the same fans who said that the season was over in January, then say, oh my God, how the hell did we lose it from where we were? And they kind of forget that. And that's not right.
No, but as I say, it's just been a crazy, since Klopp came in October 2015. I mean, it took him about a year, 18 months to get his team together. We lost to Sevilla in the Europa League the following year when he just come in. And that I think that just drove him on. The losing the games, 2018, of course, against Madrid, the following year. You know what I mean? We win it. So I think the losing, I think this is a huge year again for us. We seem to, if we lose a big cup final, like the Champions League final, the way we lost the league, we seem to just go on again and say, oh, we got to do it next year type of thing. You know, it's not getting any easier, though. It's not getting any easier.
But Dave, you do remember what happened the season after we lost the European Cup final, right?
Yeah.
We won it the next year. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. We usually step on. And the year we lost the league by the point, you know,
yep,
we won it the next year as well.
So it's set up.
The Champions League.
And it all starts day after tomorrow.
Stephen Richards is back, the Renegade Master. That's the name of a song, actually. Steve, how are you? Hit the like, guys. Hit the share. I'm going to stay on for another few minutes. I don't want to ruin Zubin's lovely little holiday in Bangkok.
No, this is a pleasure.
We'll finish for the last few minutes, obviously, talking about Bangkok. And you're going to try get out there, get a few interviews, talk to a few of the people, absorb the bloody atmosphere. That's what I'd be doing if I was over there.
That's exactly the plan. I'm going to get in early to the stadium tomorrow. I'm going to absorb the atmosphere. I'm going to speak to a lot of fellow fans over there as well, and try and just live the moment before what a derby would be. Yes, it's going to be very different compared to when they played back in England, but this is just going to be as close as it gets for a lot of us. And keeping that in mind, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be noisy. It's going to be loud. I'm going to be singing. I'm going to be yelling. It's going to be crazy.
It's going to be beautiful, baby. But look, and as I say, I mean, I think Redman TV are over there and Anfield Rap are over there. You might bump into them. They did a show. I seen a show. I think it was last night they did a show. I think Neil Atkinson was over there, the Anfield Rap. So you should be looking around. There'd be little shows here and there and tipping and tapping, you know. Probably, if there's an Irish bar in Bangkok, show your face there because that's where they usually go. Irish bars.
Yeah. So there is, I will do that. I definitely will. But, you know, again, for fan interaction at Bangkok, there was an event here. I think Sami Hyypiä was there. Jose Enrique was there. Luis Garcia was here as well. And there was a small fan interaction, few questions from the crowd, and a lot of experience of their playing days that they were kind of transcend into the fans over here. So it's been great. They've been legends of late. Our team here, I think it's fantastic. I would probably go out on a limb and say that this is like a mini Liverpool city, because whenever I walk around the streets over here, yes, it's only been a day and a half since I've been here, but the number of people I see in a red jersey, it's just heartwarming and it just feels like home.
United have a big following there too, so I'm surprised you haven't come across many Manchester United jerseys.
I have come across a few Manchester United. I'm just not talking about them. That's number one. Number two.
That's good answer. Good answer. Yeah, no, they have a big following in Asia and, as well, to be fair. So that's why that game on Tuesday is going to be ridiculous, because it will be an absolute sellout city. And I'm looking forward. I'll hopefully chat to you again before you come back from Thailand. Maybe get your views on the game itself on Tuesday night.
Definitely will. I mean, that would be, there'd be a lot more to talk about at that point of time as well. It'll be my first experience of watching Liverpool play live. I have seen a few other games back in India as well. I've seen the Indian national team play, but this is going to be something different. There's a different flavor to it. There's a different buzzing to the city, to be very honest. And I think I'm going to exactly do what you're going to say. I'm going to go hit up a few Irish bars right after we chat, and then probably catch a beer with somebody over there.
Yeah, absolutely. And enjoy it, my friend. Thank you very much for coming on. Check Zubin out on @ZubinOfficial on Twitter. His link is in the description. We'll see more of Zubin. I'm absolutely sure of that. I'm sure. Enjoy Bangkok. Enjoy Thailand. Enjoy the Reds. Go easy on the old apple juice. Thank you very much, guys, for the comments. Last word to you, Zubin.
Thank you so much for having me, Dave, and all the very best to all of us as Liverpool fans. This is one of, and as we say it every season, this is going to be one of our biggest seasons ever. And Darwin Núñez is going to score 20 goals this season.
Woo! Premier League goals.
I
think he's a 20-plus man. Let's hope. All about staying fit, ready to rock. Good pre-season. Let's beat the Manx on Tuesday, then move on to Palace. I think it's in Singapore on Friday. From me in Dublin, from Zubin in Bangkok. Stay safe. Talk soon. This means more. Cheers, guys.